Well, this next tune is also off the new album. This one was sort of inspired to write a beautiful song for my children about taking them on the journey of life. And tonight I brought them on the journey into Live at the Roslyn, so they're hanging out here with us. But yeah, so I know that people are watching in British Columbia and that people are watching in Prince Edward Island and up in the Yukon, and that is the territory in which we've toured in the last year. And while we were in Prince Edward Island, we had a brief morning off, and our host took me down to the water, which I thought was going to still be there, but I learned, for those of you who are also prairie people, water leaves sometimes, especially in the ocean. It buggers right off. And I said to her, "What are we doing down here? This is a weird time to swim." And she hands me a shopping bag and she says, "Get to work." And I looked there, and across the red dirt, there were these beautiful, what looked like fireflies absolutely everywhere. And what it was beach glass. Because when the old ferry boats were decommissioned, they used to just chuck all the dishes overboard. And so there was beach glass of every size and color, and I started gathering it up with like an IKEA shopping bag. I was like, I'm gonna make so much folk art when I get home. And while I was walking very far out into where the tide was, I had this moment where I just stopped and looked out and thought, this is the moment I'd wish my kids were here right now. Also, they could carry so much more beach glass. 30 days later, we drove across the country all the way to Powell River, British Columbia, and we were playing a set, some rip-hop fiddle tunes, and the whole crowd was dancing with their floopy pants. And then all of a sudden, at the back of the crowd, there was what appeared to be a riot. Everyone was sort of congregating and then running away towards the beach. And I was like, that's never happened at one of our shows before. And I was looking and making faces at you, and there was all kinds of commotion. And then all of a sudden, we saw flukes. There was orca whales that had come into the cove, and I feel like maybe I drew them in with all the bass on the instrument. They're like, my people. And again, I had this idea. I was like, oh, my kids, I wish they were here right now. But that Kia Rio is so small, and we simply couldn't take them on the driving tour. And so I said to Dale, I'd like to write a song for my kids, and he said, no. I said, all right. Well, I had this melody going through my head that he'd asked me to save, because it didn't turn into a song when I wanted it to. But the words that came to mind were, hey, little bird. And then I was right. Since my kids were little, I've called them my chickens, and hey, little bird was already their song. So this is about taking the people you love on the journey of life. We'll fly so high in the colored sky if you come away with me. But you say you cannot go, your wings you have not tried, and you're so afraid, so afraid, so afraid to fly. If you come away with me. We'll see the islands turn to amber with the changing of the leaves. We'll soar above the Rockies, cut through the mountain pass, reach the eastern shore with the beach of colored glass. If you come away with me. We will go. The salt flats of Saskatchewan, in June they look like snow. And we will chase the sunset around the westward bend, where the ocean meets the skyline and the road comes to an end. If you come away with me. Hey, little birds can't stay on my window pane, frozen like a picture and captured in a frame. The great big world outside will just pass you anyway. So spread your wings and fly and come back again someday. Spread your wings and fly, come back again someday.